Okay, so if you can't remember, we had this wall here already because next door, if you can see through there, I've done a loft conversion. However, the neighbour that side hasn't. So we had to build up on the party wall, as you can see. I mean, you can really see it from here. There was the original wall. That's everything up from that angle we've built. And yeah, that is basically the next step of your loft conversion is, as you can see here, see that pocket up there? That is where the steels are going to be sitting in. So obviously if the steels are going to be resting in the wall, well, you need to have the wall built. If I just walk along here. I'll explain this in a minute. But you can see there, they've done a mint job. And on this side, it's quite hard to show you. But you can see they've tucked all the lead in. Why do they tuck all the lead in? It's just basically damp proofing. And yeah, they've done a really good job. All matching the existing. These bricks here are engineering bricks. So we've matched what next door did to just make it look nice. They've done a really, really good job. If I can run up here quickly, I can show you what it looks like. So there you can see the pocket. The steel is going to be going into there. The steel conversation, it is just going to be a lot easier to explain. Once the steels are in, it doesn't look the tidiest. That's not a big deal. All of this gets covered. The only bits that are important are what you can see, and that is looking down there and then on that side, which is really hard to film, but they've done a great job. How much did all of this cost? Like I said, that's like a 2.5, nah, more than that, maybe a 3-meter wall. In materials, it cost, I did it in 2 lots because I almost ran out of bricks, so I needed to get more. So 600 quid. And then I've still got bricks left. I'd say £1,000 in materials. So that is in bricks, sand and cement. Yeah, 1,000 quid in materials. And then we had 2 bricklayers on day rates of 200 quid each. And they were here for 5 days. Do the maths. That was £2,000. So all in to build this, £3,000, which it's just the going rate. There's no point having your feelings upset about spending 3 grand on it. You need to do it because there's a lot of steels going to be coming in, and that is in 3 days the steels arrive. So yeah, if we shopped around a little bit, we could have got cheaper bricklayers, potentially, but not really. It's fine. In London, 200 quid a day is the going rate pretty much. And if they're way cheaper, you might want to question it a little bit. But yeah, they've done a really, really nice job. What did they do? They didn't just come here to do all the bricklaying, they also waxed off all of the top. So all of this was obviously running down this side of the roof. They cut it all off. They removed it to here, and then it was my brother and my job of going over to the pulleys, running it all down, whacking it all into a skip. So yeah, really, really happy with that. Like I said, steel's coming in 3 days. The only things we were really conscious of throughout the whole thing was obviously making sure that we told them that we needed it 1 brick below this point here, which they've done. We spray painted it just to make sure, reiterated so many times to them that we wanted it 1 brick below because that's where the steel's going to be resting on. Why is it so important, that height? Well, if they did it a brick too low, that's a loss of head height. And in a loft, you're going to really notice that effect of head height. So we've set out from the moment we started doing this loft conversion is head height is everything, because we've been in some lofts and yeah, your head's basically scraping because the people didn't think about insulation, they didn't think about plasterboarding, they just didn't think what it's actually going to be like once it's done. So yeah, we're actually going to have pretty amazing head height in this house. So the ceiling height is going to be around here. So as you can see there, it's probably going to come to about there, which that is happily, I don't know, 2.2 meter head height, I think. I don't know if that was taking into account what we're doing in the floor with the steels. But yeah, all exciting. If you're wondering why when I'm saying, oh, I'm getting people steels, I'm going to do a separate video on the steels. It's quite a big topic, very, very important. It's what your whole loft is basically going to be built from. And we're actually going to be getting in a company who their sole job is to produce the steels. They crane it all up, they install it. We've got a steel running along the floor, all the way along the floor to that pocket down there that I made. A steel in this pocket here, running along, not into the wall there. Instead, it's hovering, and then there's a steel column going down there. We've got a steel in the floor there, running all the way along to there. If you're wondering why is it so perfect, to get it to the level we wanted to, I'll go down there and show you. But I actually poured some concrete in there just to make sure everything is at exactly the right height. Now over there, the chimney, it was there. I've now taken it out. I've taken it out from obviously the loft and then the first floor. It is still remaining in the ground floor. Why did I remove it? You might be thinking, why did you take the chimney down yourself? Why didn't you just employ someone to do it? Well, taking down chimneys, you have to be quite careful. And from personal experience, no one will take more care as my brother and me. It's just a fact. If someone's here, they don't really mind if they annoy a neighbour by dropping something in their garden, whereas my brother and me are the ones who have to deal with it. So we just thought, on a Saturday, let's just take all the chimney down. It's not particularly pleasant work. So has anything gone wrong so far? Not wrong. It didn't go wrong. A brick may have fallen on the not particularly nice neighbours' skylight, which the two bricklayers, when the person came round, not particularly happy, found it incredibly funny. It didn't damage the skylight at all, like at all. There was no damage, and that leads me to think it didn't even fall on the skylight. I think they just chose to say it did, because when I went round to obviously look, they were like, oh yeah, it's landed on the skylight. And I was like, well, let's see the damage if that's just fallen 3 meters onto a skylight. And the brick they were showing me was half a brick. It's like half of that. That's going to do quite a bit of damage, and it did none. So I just gave them some sheeting to cover up their skylight in case anything else did accidentally fall. But on this, I do want to just say one thing. Yeah, we'll be the nicest people ever to anyone. Like, every neighbour on this road loves my brother and me, except for the neighbours there. And I think, personally, it's because our house is going to be way bigger than theirs. And when I've chatted to other mates and stuff, they're like, oh, it's just the most standard thing ever. It's like, neighbours always get jealous if you start doing something amazing to your house, and it makes them double take themselves. But yeah, we have this view that if some will be nice to absolutely anyone all the time. And when the neighbour was clearly pretty unhappy, I was perfectly polite. I said, I'm really sorry, accidents happen. The two bricklayers are insured. If anything did get damaged, they're covered for it and everything like that. But then the guy kept on going at me, saying, this is ridiculous, you've just dropped this, it could have damaged it, blah, 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 blah. And my brother and me always have this point where we'll let people air themselves out, and then you just got to know there's this point where you have to just stop it, because otherwise people take the mick with you and they feel like they can walk all over you. This might not be the best advice ever I'm giving, but so my one line that I always use, and I've used it in the past, is I just say, when they keep going on and on and on, I just say, look, if this was the other way around, how would you want me to react? And honestly, I have never, ever used that and it not work. It diffused any, it wasn't an argument because it's so one-sided. I'm apologising for something that I didn't even do. There was no damage. It was just, yeah, I can get it. It's a concern if something fell off a roof, but what am I meant to do about it? And they kept going on and on and on. Just completely diffuses the situation. Yeah, so it was the two things I think that stopped it, is saying, if I was in your situation, I would basically react the same. It's annoying, and if it damaged it, that's bad. But also by saying, like, how would you want me to react? Because it just puts it all on them, and then it makes them realise that what they're actually whinging about is not a big deal. We had one thing where they're literally out in their garden right now, so they're probably going to hear me saying this. So they just had some repointing done on the front of their house. So they had scaffolding up, If you're getting a house repointed, you need to then cut it out with an angle grinder, whatever. It's quite noisy work, and when everyone's working from home, yeah, that happening for 7 days, it's quite loud. Me as their neighbour, did I go around and tell them to be quiet or anything? No, because I'm a normal person, and if someone's having work done, it's just commonplace that the noise happens. However, when I'm having the scaffolding put up, one of the scaffolders comes in and goes, "Your neighbours are right, so-and-so." And I was like, "Oh, what are they doing?" And they were like, "Oh, they've just come out to me and told me to be quiet." So my brother and me went and had a word with them. They were like, yeah, it's really noisy. And I was like, "Didn't you just have scaffolding up?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Do you not think it was the same amount of noise when we were having like?" There are some people in this world, just always be the nicest person, because it's only going to make the situation worse if you make an argument even into an even more ridiculous argument. So yeah, just always be calm. And yeah, honestly. Also, I just don't think it landed on a skylight. If I dropped half a brick, unless it's toughened glass, nah, there was no dust or anything from the brick landing in the glass. Anyway, that house is under offer, so they're going to be gone soon. And then the rest of the neighbours, who are sound, honestly, all the neighbours around here are sweet. So this is the thing as well. My brother and me both have city day jobs. We both work in finance, and I leave a ridiculous time in the morning wearing a suit. Go to the tube, get on, go to work, and then I come back quite late, Monday to Friday. The neighbours see that happening, and then on a Saturday and a Sunday, they see me caped in rubbish, looking just like when I was a kid as a labourer. And they don't really understand it. So I had a neighbour just come up to me and be like, perfectly politely, but was like, "Oh, can you move your car? I want to park my car there." And I was like, yeah, sure, no worries. So I just reversed my car back a little bit. But there was a tow, because I was covered in crap, like loads of dust from removing the chimney. And then they pointed at the house and they were like, "Oh, what work are they having done?" Thinking that I was the labourer on the house. And I was just like, "Oh, it's actually my house." And it's like these moments my brother and me live for, where you can just see their brains are just scrambled, and they're like, wait, you're the people who walk leaving wearing suits, and you're doing, I don't understand it. So, what is next? Well, oh yeah, these are little pockets I was on about. So I just made some little shuttering, as you can see here, to just put some concrete down. Another one over here, there, and another one over here. Why is this one so wide? Well, it's got a plate, and the plate's going to go below the steel. Like I said, it's quite hard to visualize it, so I'm just going to do all the steel chat in a future video, all about the steels, because I think that's going to be really helpful. But yeah, it's all happening. Anything else really happened that I'm missing? A lot of tidying up, which unfortunately when it comes to renovating houses you'll be shocked at how much of your day. Oh, there's my jumper. Oh. But oh yeah, I found these, just some old nails. Oh, I also found this. Quite cool. Wonder how old that is. Wonder if there's a date anywhere. Don't know. But yeah. Okay, next video. Oh, Jesus. Next video, steels. We'll get into all of that in a lot more detail. I just wanted to show you quickly what I've been up to. But yeah, please like, subscribe, all of that stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.